Visual effects have shaped the way we dream on screen, from Space Odysseys to digital dinosaurs. Today, we're revisiting the 10 VFX moments that changed the very language of cinema. These are the shots that made filmmakers rethink what was possible, that blew audiences' minds, and that set new standards for everything that followed. Do hit like and subscribe for more cinematic deep dives every week, and let's get into it. There are special effects, and then there's 2001, A Space Odyssey. At the film's climax, astronaut Dave Bowman travels through what looks like a cosmic wormhole, a kaleidoscope of colors, light, and infinity. And remember, this was 1968. There was no CGI and no computers. Director Stanley Kubrick and a 23-year-old visual effects wizard named Douglas Trumbull created the now iconic Stargate sequence using a painstaking method called slit scan photography, literally photographing light through moving slits for minutes at a time.
You read me, Hal? Do you read me, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
Each frame took nearly 4 minutes to expose. The result was hypnotic. People in theaters thought Kubrick had filmed actual outer space. The film won him his only Oscar for Best Visual Effects, and it remains one of the most visionary sequences ever created on film. This was the moment audiences realized movies could transport you, not just entertain you. In Star Wars: A New Hope, Luke Skywalker's final assault on the Death Star is still one of the most thrilling sequences ever put on screen, and it changed visual effects forever.
I copy, Gold Leader.
It came from behind.
George Lucas didn't have computers to animate the ships. Instead, he and his newly formed company Industrial Light and Magic built detailed miniature models of the X-Wings and TIE fighters, and used a groundbreaking technique called motion control photography. This allowed cameras to move around the miniatures on precise, computer-guided paths, frame by frame, giving the battle an incredible sense of speed and realism. Every explosion, every shot, every swooping camera angle was filmed practically. The result? A scene that felt truly alive. Audiences in 1977 had never seen space battles look this real. The film cost $11 million and went on to make $775 million, establishing ILM as the gold standard for movie effects. That trench run didn't just blow up the Death Star, it blew up everything we thought was possible in cinema. When Terminator 2 hit theaters in 1991, people didn't believe what they were seeing. A robot that could literally melt, reform, and change shape mid-scene. Director James Cameron, already known for pushing limits, wanted the villain, the T-1000, to be unlike anything audiences had ever seen. His team at ILM spent 10 months creating just 5 minutes of computer-generated footage using cutting-edge silicon graphics computers. The prison bars scene, where the T-1000 walks through solid metal, was made by blending CGI with Stan Winston's incredible practical effects. Each reflection, ripple, and transformation was meticulously designed, rendered one frame at a time. Some frames took 8 hours to complete. The result wasn't just a villain, it was a revolution. That shimmering liquid metal figure became the first truly convincing digital character in film history, opening the door for everything from Gollum to Thanos. Few moments in film history are as breathtaking as Jurassic Park's first dinosaur reveal. As the Jeep rolls to a stop, Dr. Alan Grant stands up, pulls off his sunglasses, and stares in disbelief at a living, breathing Brachiosaurus.
It's a dinosaur.
Steven Spielberg wanted audiences to share that exact sense of wonder, and to pull it off, he combined two different worlds, the physical and the digital. The close-up dinosaurs were real animatronic giants, created by Stan Winston's legendary team. But when the camera moved wide to show the dinosaur walking, that's where ILM's groundbreaking CGI stepped in. This was the first time realistic computer-generated creatures shared the screen with human actors, and it looked seamless. Spielberg actually changed course mid-production after seeing ILM's test footage of a running T-Rex, realizing he could finally make dinosaurs believable. The movie made over $1 billion, won 3 Oscars, and instantly proved CGI wasn't just a novelty. It was the future. Spielberg later said, "It was the moment I realized digital effects had a soul." When The Matrix hit theaters, it didn't just change science fiction. It changed how we filmed action. And it all comes down to one scene, Neo dodging bullets on that rooftop, as time slows down and the camera glides around him in a full 360-degree motion. This wasn't CGI trickery, it was an entirely new technique called bullet time.
Trinity! Help!
VFX supervisor John Gaeta and the Wachowskis built a rig of 120 still cameras arranged in a circle. Each camera fired a fraction of a second apart, capturing the same moment from multiple angles. Computers then stitched those shots together, creating that impossible floating camera move. In the film, the scene shows Neo beginning to unlock his power within the Matrix, but for filmmakers, it was a revolution. Suddenly, cameras weren't bound by gravity or physics anymore. It was so influential that the term bullet time entered pop culture. Every commercial, video game, and action movie after 1999 tried to copy it, but none could match the original. When The Two Towers released, audiences had seen digital creatures before, but they had never felt one. Then came Gollum. In the film, there's a haunting scene where Gollum argues with his better half Smeagol, switching voices, faces, and emotions in a heartbreaking tug-of-war. It's funny, tragic, and disturbingly human. That's because it was human.
Where would you be without me? Hello? Not listening. Not listening. And never come back.
Actor Andy Serkis performed every move, every twitch, and every tortured expression on set, wearing a motion capture suit and face markers. Weta Digital then took that data and built Gollum around his performance, frame by frame. This wasn't just great animation, it was the first time a fully digital character gave a truly emotional, award-worthy performance, and it changed everything. Without Gollum, there'd be no Caesar in Planet of the Apes, no Thanos in Avengers, and no Na'vi in Avatar. Serkis and Peter Jackson didn't just make a monster, they created a new art form, digital acting. When gravity begins, there's no cut for 17 minutes. Astronauts Ryan Stone, Sandra Bullock, and Matt Kowalski, George Clooney, float in serene silence until everything goes wrong. Debris hits, chaos erupts, and suddenly you're tumbling through space, gasping for air, just like them. Director Alfonso Cuarón didn't want it to look like a special effect. He wanted it to feel real. To make that happen, his team at Framestore created nearly everything digitally. The Earth, the stars, even the astronaut suits. Only the actors' faces were real. They built a massive LED light box to mimic sunlight reflections in orbit, and robotic arms moved cameras with surgical precision. The combination of technology and artistry was unprecedented. Even NASA astronauts praised its realism. Gravity won 7 Oscars, including Best Visual Effects, and proved that CGI could create authentic emotion, not just spectacle. In Mad Max: Fury Road, Max and Furiosa drive straight into a wall of sand and lightning. A sequence so intense it looks completely unreal, but almost all of it actually happened. Director George Miller shot the scene in the Namib Desert with real vehicles, real explosions, and real stunt performers hanging from moving poles at 60 miles per hour. But here's where it gets brilliant. Miller didn't use VFX to fake the chaos. He used it to perfect it. VFX supervisor Andrew Jackson enhanced the dust storms, removed safety rigs, and added digital layers to amplify the scale without breaking the illusion. The balance between real and digital was so seamless that audiences couldn't tell where one ended and the other began. The result? 6 Academy Awards and a new benchmark for hybrid filmmaking, showing that visual effects don't have to replace reality, they can elevate it. When Avatar came out, it wasn't just another blockbuster, it was a glimpse into cinema's future. In one of its most iconic scenes, Jake Sully bonds with his flying creature, the Banshee, and takes off over the floating mountains of Pandora. It's an emotional, visceral experience, and every single frame of that alien world was digitally created. Director James Cameron and Weta Digital spent years developing new performance capture technology that recorded every facial movement with head-mounted cameras. Cameron even used a virtual camera, a tablet-like screen that let him walk through Pandora in real time, framing shots as if he were actually there. The film cost $237 million, made nearly $3 billion, and completely changed how blockbusters were made. Its innovations in virtual production and performance capture paved the way for The Mandalorian, Planet of the Apes, and practically every major effects-driven movie since. Cameron didn't just show us another world, he made us believe we could visit it. And finally, Avatar, The Way of Water, the film that proves James Cameron still hasn't stopped pushing boundaries. To take us beneath Pandora's oceans, Cameron's team developed the world's first underwater motion capture system. Actors performed entire scenes underwater, not in front of green screens. Kate Winslet even trained to hold her breath for over 7 minutes. Every movement of water, every reflection of light, every strand of hair was captured and rendered with scientific precision. The result was so realistic that many shots looked like they were filmed by deep-sea divers. Cameron called it the hardest film I've ever made, but the most beautiful. The movie cost around $350 million to make and earned over $2.3 billion globally, solidifying Cameron's place as the master of technological storytelling. It's not just a sequel, it's the next stage in cinematic evolution. From Kubrick's slit-scan galaxies to Cameron's digital oceans, these moments redefined what's possible in film. Which of these visual effects milestones blew your mind the most? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Popcorn Primetime for more deep dives into the magic of movies. Because here, we don't just watch films, we celebrate them.